Okay, you're watching the Hutchinson County podcast, your source for local conversations that matter. Today we're talking with political candidates about the issues, priorities, and leadership shaping Hutchinson County. Our goal is simple: fair questions, equal access, and to inform voters. We are here with Jimmy Gowdy, owner of Bulldog. I want to talk about Bulldog Motors off the top. We'll start with that.
Sure, we've got a independent used car lot here at 700 West Wilson inside the Precinct 4. We'd love for you guys to come out and meet us and see what we have available. And we're proud to be in Precinct 4.
Yes, they kind of work out a little different. You got the for Precinct 4, and your business is in Precinct 4 of all that. So we'll start out, Jimmy. What motivated you to run for Hutchinson County Commissioner for Precinct 4?
Well, first of all, I've lived in Borger and Precinct 4 for 25 years. I've raised 2 sons and now have 2 daughters-in-law and 5 grandchildren who've made Borger their home. I love Borger and Hutchinson County, and I want to see it continue to grow and prosper. I own businesses in this precinct and have a big heart for the small business owners and property owners in our county. I've been in Precinct 4, John Bayless and Eddie Whittington. I have a huge respect for both of them and have looked for the time that I'd be right for me to get involved in this capacity. I have excellent employees and I have time to dedicate to this job.
All right, Jimmy. And before we move on, we'll probably keep our hands off the table. We vibe both sides. We're vibrating the table a little bit. And sorry for on the last interview, we had some technical issues. We got disconnected and it come back on, but it didn't record the rest of the interview. So I had to do a 2-part with Gracie. We'll check that out. I may have to go back and redo hers. But Jimmy, thank you for coming down here on a Sunday and down here at Bulldog Motors, and welcome to the Hutchinson County podcast. So we'll go with question number 2. What experiences best prepares you to serve in this role?
Okay, again, I've lived here for 25 years and I've worked here for 32. That shows my age. During that time, I've worked for locally owned small businesses. I've always had to manage pretty large budgets. I understand taxes, property taxes, sales taxes, and ad valorem taxes. I enjoy working with employees, customers, and community members. I'm a problem solver. I try to identify problems and find solutions. I've been a deacon at my church that we've attended for 25 years. I've served on booster clubs. I've served on the board of the USDA and been the president. I'm currently serving on the Appraisal Review Board and the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Very good. Quite a resume right there, Jimmy, on that. So we'll go with, what are the top 3 issues facing Precinct 4 today?
Well, first of all, I'm not in this job now, so I can't tell you day-to-day problems, but from the outside in, it looks to me like personnel of the county, we're losing an excellent judge and a road and bridge superintendent. I know Dwayne's been there for 39 years, and I have a lot of admiration for him and know that that's a job that's going to be hard to replace. I also think that we need unity on the court, and we need to collaborate with other county entities like the hospital district and school boards and City of Borger, City of Stinnett, and City of Fridge. And I think we need to support our local businesses that pay our taxes, and we need to concentrate on tax rate rollbacks. Our property valuations are going up, and the only way to manage that amount of tax being paid is to roll back the rate.
Very good. Yeah, and I want to apologize. Our graphics, we have the Christmas lights coming through a little bit, but it's all right. It's just is what it is, but the graphics look pretty good, and hopefully the sound will turn out. That's just on the technical side of this podcast, but yeah, very good issues. Now, the next question, how would you prioritize those issues if elected?
In that order, you got to do personnel first, unity on the court, and then support local and work on tax rate rollbacks.
Okay, you say in being a business owner, so basically you've been in a leadership role. How do you describe your leadership style?
Well, I have respect for others and their opinions. I like to lead by example. I would never ask anybody to do something that I wouldn't do. I show up, I work hard, and I want to have fun. If you don't have fun, you don't need to show up.
Here for that, you taking applications? No, I'm just kidding. No, that sounds like a pretty good deal, Jimmy. I've never worked for you. We've had some dealings with some
radio
some
station.
charity stuff and radio station and everything. But yeah, that's actually good attitude to have. Okay, how would you approach managing the county's budget responsibly?
Well, I think you need to set firm budgets and let those department heads manage their departments. You don't need to micromanage them. You need to give them authority to do their job or get somebody that can.
Okay, what is your stance on the county taxes and spending?
Well, according to the website for Hutchinson County, our tax revenue has gone from $14.5 million in 2021 to $17.2 million in 2025. That represents an 18% increase in the incumbent's last term, according to the Hutchinson County website and the auditor. We need to make sure every dollar that can be spent locally is spent locally. I watched a meeting, they were by sheriff's car, and they didn't mention finding a local vendor. Those are the guys that pay the taxes. They ought to at least get a shot.
Shop local.
Absolutely.
Can agree with.
We need to manage the rates of our taxes, i.e. rollbacks, so that those tax increases aren't so drastic. 18% over a 4-year period of time is pretty dramatic. And our valuations are going to go up. The state's pushing that from the Appraisal Review Board. So the only way to manage that level of tax is to roll the rates back. And they did that last year. I'm proud of them for doing that. It just wasn't enough.
For taxes, I'll just say, being a voter, it's never enough.
Yeah.
For that, just my personal opinion.
Yeah, less taxes.
Less tax, but yeah, I understand, but I'm not in government, so just my voter opinion on that. Where can the county operate more efficiently?
Again, from the outside looking in and just watching the court on the internet, we need to let department heads manage and not micromanage them. There's lots of stuff being discussed in the court that those managers and department heads need to just have a budget and let them run with it.
Okay, what infrastructure or road projects are most important in Precinct 4? Now that's a tough question because you don't have the job and you hadn't been on every road in the county. I've probably been on every road in the county because of my job, but I grew up in this county, and there's probably 3/4 of this county I didn't know existed until.
You're just going to have to defer to Dwayne Chisholm, but that's why that personnel fixing is such a problem. He's retiring this coming December, and getting somebody in that position is going to be a dramatic thing because he does, from that aspect, run the county. He's going to know where and what we need the most.
Yes,
You're just going to have to trust him and
where the trouble roads are. If they have a rain or some kind of rain, that's priority road, or if there's a certain paved road that may be kind of on the edge of we need to do something about instead of just fixing the potholes, we might. Yeah, totally understand. And yes, Dwayne Chisholm, definitely going to be a big hole to fill.
Absolutely.
With the count, with
Absolutely.
that.
That's just,
and on that.
those are big shoes to fill.
Okay, how should the county support rural services and emergency preparedness?
We need to collaborate with local law enforcement and emergency services. We have some of the best in Hutchinson County. You've seen them as we've had the fires and things going on around here. We need to make sure they have all the resources they need and all the equipment they need and let them do their jobs. If they have a tire go out, they don't need to go get a PO from the road and bridge. They need to get it and work within their budget. Again, we have some excellent staff. We need to just let them do their jobs. And then collaborate with other local fire departments from Fritz to Net, Borger, and all the rural stuff.
How can Hutchinson County encourage economic growth without burdening the taxpayers?
Well, we can go back to tax rates. We have to control and roll back those tax rates. Currently, it takes me 3 months net revenue to pay my property taxes. That's pretty dramatic. In discussion with other local small businesses, that burden is very heavy. We need to create an environment where our kids want to stay and work and seek local opportunities and not leave our town and county. Right now, we've got several things closing up and leaving, and we need to make sure that those services continue to be offered in Borger. There's lots of opportunity here. You know, the trade skills. We have one plumbing shop that's owned locally. Otherwise, you have to call Amarillo or Pampa. We need to teach people how to be plumbers and carpenters and welders, and there's just all kinds of opportunity in Borger that we need to make sure those businesses can come here and be profitable. know, beyond the trade skills, there's very few local attorneys that actually live in Border.
Yeah, but
Accountants, you know, there's just a ton of opportunity in Border, and we need to make it where it's very appealing for them to come here, whether that be tax breaks or some kind of incentives. You know, when I came to work in Border in '92, it had one of the highest median incomes in the state, and people love to buy cars when they can make plenty of money and other products. So, again, we just need to use the tools we have and continue to grow and offer incentive for people to come to Border and get outside investment. You know, we have some other companies right now investing in Border, building some houses and doing some things in town that are really looking good. So we need to continue to invest in that and make collaborative agreements for people to come here and be able to make a profit.
all right. How should the county support law enforcement and first responders?
Well, first of all, we have some of the best firefighters and law enforcement departments ever, with lots of training and new growth opportunities. I know there's lots of young firefighters who are able to come here and do their training, and it's a lot better program than Amarillo or some of the other areas have. And our school district does a great job teaching our youth to respect and admire these individuals. There are great relationships being built at very young ages. We need to give those folks all the resources they need to do their jobs with money and equipment.
How do you stay accessible and accountable to constituents?
My office here at the car lot is open 6 days a week, and I spend every night in this county. My phone number is 806-433-3257, and my email is gowdy4@gmail.com. I'm real easy to find. You know, when I signed up for this, they asked me to use another email address because we got so much political garbage. That's not who I am. I've got one way to reach me.
Yeah,
You can
keep
call and I
it
answer.
simple. Just one email, one phone number, and if you don't like the people calling, you got the block option. And the same with the email. Not in general, but just the scammers and all the crazy
yeah.
stuff that's coming out, or you know, your own phone number shows up on your phone when somebody's
there's a
calling
lot
you.
of
That
scammers
stuff
going
like
on.
that.
Yeah.
Totally get that. So that good to know on that. So how do you handle disagreements between personal views and constituent input?
Well, it's pretty simple. The Lord gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So I think you need to listen twice as much as you talk and try to make every outcome a win-win. I found in life that if you do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, everybody wins. And there's a way usually for that to happen. Again, just listen more than you talk.
All right, this is a question. If elected, what legacy do you want to leave as commissioner?
That I was a Christian first and I'll serve it second.
Okay, why should voters trust you with this office?
Because I believe it's a privilege to have any office, and I'll seek the Lord's guidance in all that I do, and I'll treat it as a place I want my grandchildren to grow up and stay and not leave to go live somewhere else. And give everybody else that same opportunity and desire for their families to stay here.
Okay, now other political candidates did have notes. Is there anything on your notes that you don't feel we didn't cover?
No?
Or anything?
No.
So I just kind of give you final thoughts, and then we'll go over your social media.
Well, I would just appreciate the opportunity for all the folks in Precinct 4 to vote for me. I'd appreciate your vote. We'll do the best we can to improve our county and promote economic growth and make this a place where people want to stay and not leave.
Okay, yeah, all the candidates, I've said this to every candidate the last 2 days. I'm just thankful we have people that are willing to put themselves out there and do community service. It is greatly appreciated to go through this campaign, do the job, be out there and have to make the tough decisions. I'm not sure if I could do it, maybe someday, but I just very appreciative of people like you and the other people I've interviewed the last 2 days to do that. So I just wanted to pass that along and thank you for your service, or willing to do service.
I appreciate the opportunity. And again, we've raised our kids here and are raising our grandchildren here, and we love Border in Hutchinson County and Stinnett and Fritch. We just think it's a great place, but it can be even better. And we all need to invest in our own self. Nobody's going to come in and fix board before us. We got to do it. Nobody's going to fix the net for us. We got to do it. Nobody's going to fix fridge. It needs to be our investment, our time, and our efforts to make it happen. Again, it's just been a great place to raise a family, and I would encourage a lot of folks to come here and move here because there is a lot of opportunity. Cost of living here is less, and services are great, and you make a great income.
Well, thank you again, Jimmy. Let's go over all your social media platforms and how people can reach you. I know you gave your phone number out, but I think we have some social media page you have. And
yeah, I've got two Facebook. I got a personal Facebook page and a. That's the page.
You're good.
A Precinct 4 Commissioner page. I have an Instagram account. I have a TikTok account. Most of them are connected to the car lot too. So you can also get our website for the car lot, bulldogmotorco.com. Again, I'm very reachable.
They're right here on the Cloverleaf, so it's not hard to miss all these cars in this nice facility. Actually, can go back in time to the early 80s. My dad drove a truck, and I remember this was the Ryder yard, Ryder trucks, and remember rolling out and going on a trip and leaving out that exit back there. So kind of driving in here got to bring back some childhood memories of, riding with my dad in the truck when I wasn't supposed to, kind of things.
We've really enjoyed it.
I've done a lot of work to this, and very good and very successful. Jimmy, thank you for doing the podcast, and I wish you and your opponents good luck on this coming up election. And we will do. Thank you for watching the Hutchinson County Podcast. Our goal is to provide fair, balanced conversations and equal access to candidates across the ballot, helping inform voters here in Hutchinson County. I actually think I read that twice. The intro is kind of pretty much the same, but it's been a long weekend, basketball Friday night, and then had two wonderful guests yesterday on the podcast and two wonderful guests today. And I appreciate anybody that invested in taking the time to do these podcasts, and hopefully it gets your name out and your information and what you want to come across. And I wish y'all good luck in the March primary. And to let folks know too, there's no Democrats on the ballot, so whoever wins these primaries on these three contested races.
That was another question I asked that I didn't know, is that if you are a Democrat, you can vote in the Republican primary. We all have lots of Democrat friends, and it's an open primary, so they can come in without being a registered Republican and vote in our primary. So I encourage you to do that if you want to have a say in who leads our county and our town.
That's very good information, because they just, well, I'm a registered Democrat, I can't vote in that, but that's good to know. You can do it. I did not know that, and that question has not come up, so I appreciate you clarifying that for everybody that can vote. So I know some Democrats and stuff, and please vote. And like you said,
that's one thing another agenda that I have is the apathy of voters is just sad. There's a lot of folks in this country that died for the right to vote. And typically every election, I looked up the last one, we had 235 voters in our precinct vote out of 3,088 total voters that can.
Yes, it's under 20, it's 20%, maybe 15. It's it's a very, for registered voters to voters, it's
sad. I wish people would get out and vote.
Unless somebody the race gets really stirred up and people get really fired up, then you get a higher turnout. But you shouldn't have to gaslight a campaign to get people to vote. Just be happy and glad the right to vote.
It's such a great way to live and a great opportunity. So please come out and vote.
Vote, yes.
Wouldn't it be neat if we had 50%, got like 1,500 people to vote? What a win that would be. That
would be very awesome. And please get out and vote. And I said all the candidates, they vote for them, or just get out and vote. Every candidate I've talked to the last 2 days, get out and vote. If they don't vote for me, just get out and vote.
Absolutely. And I want to wish everybody that's running luck. It's very awesome that people are willing to serve. So, even my opponent, I want him to have all the luck in the world and be successful. We got to work together to make things better. So
yes,
please get out and vote.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Jimmy, for the time, and we're gonna wrap this up. So for myself and Jimmy Gowdy, we are out of here.